have 20 minutes, so we will have no time to make any comments. I will just have a little time to thank the organizers and the chair people. I will make two corrections. No, one correction. I am the guru of nothing, and especially not of the lung. And I saw the program. This is advanced heart. Is it?
Yes.
So I'm so sorry. And Kian McDermott said to me, just say to them that there was a mistake in the title, because the SESAME protocol is an ultrasound approach of the SURF, our training center, to cardiac arrest. Ah, yes, yes, we speak of the heart, yes. I said nothing. There is a bit of the heart in the SESAME protocol. But at the end, if needed, and I am always sad when I have to see the heart, and you will see why. So 20 minutes, not 1 second to lose for a cardiac arrest or for this application. So just, I have the pleasure. There are too many buttons. In an ultrasound machine, if there is more than 3 buttons, I am lost. Ah, good. This is Ambroise Paré Hospital, where I work, with Antoine Vieillard-Baron today. So, special thanks to Manual Brain. I have a remote that I know, so I will make several mistakes. I'm sorry for that. Cardiac arrest is what? It is this. During hours and hours, and it is maybe tiring and disappointing when you have to interrupt your resuscitation. Can we make better? So they asked me, where is the laser? Here. Yes. If I had a conflict of interest, no. SESAME is sequential emergency sonography assessing mechanism or cause of severe shock, that is more than a shock, that is quite death, of indistinct cause. SESAME, it's a bit long, we shorten in SESAME, if you don't mind. It's a fast protocol, it's a very fast protocol that assesses the whole body, that is the heart. Yes, also the heart, yes. Which assessing mechanism or cause, we are not academic, we want to save a life, of a cardiac arrest. So we will favor the reversible causes because we have no time for any academic purpose. We have no time. So for avoiding to spend hours of an efficient resuscitation, we assume that you have first ruled out the shockable causes. We are doctors. And second, the patient needs a ventilation by any means. If not, you will resuscitate, make a massage during 4 hours to a stupid pneumothorax. So we need ventilation. So as you can see, this is the light is here. I hope I will know before the end of my lecture. So the best tool is the tool that you use every day. You can see that we begin by the lung. That is one peculiarity of the SESAME protocol, without any complex, in spite of the fact that this guy says that there is no lung ultrasound even in 2017. But I respect this man, he's a nice man, by the way. So you will see that we have several targets, the lung first, a vein here, abdomen, pericardium, and at the end, we will see what the heart will bring as information. And maybe you will be surprised. Why the lung first? So I will ask to Jeroen to make this slide, thank you. The lung first, without any complex, is because, first, this is a very reversible cause. It's tragic to die from a stupid pneumothorax. The windows are generous, not like the heart. The A' profile, that is this, is detected in 2 seconds or less, and the patient is very quietly breathing, so these are the best conditions for diagnosis of pneumothorax. not dyspneic, etc. And it is, to my opinion, a good idea to search for a pneumothorax before your strong massage breaks bones, ribs, and creates a pneumothorax. I think it is better. People can disagree, of course, but they should give me strong arguments for not beginning by this. What do we need? We need a small machine. I mean, not especially a laptop. I need to go rapidly on site, and if there are lateral obstacles, my laptop machine will be blocked. So I prefer, I will say it quietly, to have a narrow machine. This is not a laptop, it is more narrow than a laptop. So we did not need to wait for the revolution, in brackets, that was a commercial revolution of the laptops, for making sooner and better. Better, as you will see. I hate this device. Our machine is 1992. This is the fastest of the world. Vintage, but the fastest of the world. 7 seconds, not bad for a cardiac arrest assessment. Please appreciate. Our machine is simple. You are cold in the night, you are stressed, this is a young person. And if the machine does not help but confuse you, it's not good for our mind, our future. We have defined at SURF a setting for critical ultrasound. It includes also the cardiac arrest, and this is a default setting which includes, among several others, depth of 8 in the adult, usually 8 centimeters. We have no filter, no harmonics, no Doppler, nothing. Only 3 buttons, and you will see only one will be touched, and not always. We need one probe. Just because we will have no time to change the probes. In a cardiac arrest, to change the probe is the death of millions of cells. And in addition, this universal probe works better than the other probes. You can believe me or not, you can make your opinion. But is it a heart with a dilated right ventricle? Is it a lung with pulmonary edema? Is it a jugular vein with the catheter inside? Is it a bleeding in this young lady in the abdomen? Yes, 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 yes. And this is only the same Japanese microconvex probe. So I will go rapidly for showing that we assessed scientifically that we not only love this probe because we are sentimental, but because when we make a scientific assessment, I will go rapidly for that, we can see areas per areas and severity and frequency of the disease per severity, that the great winner is the vascular, so-called vascular probe, the great winner, and our probe makes 92% of the work. And this is a logarithmic approach that shows that our areas of interest are not the superficial ones, not too deep, but from here to here, which is the coverage of our magic probe. Which animal is it? We have no time to play guesses. Time runs very fast. I give you a little more defined. Oh, that's a nice cat. And we work all the time, 93%, with that image quality. We don't need too big, same image, and we can work with that one. This is the principle of the best compromise. Okay, so if you have only the 3 usual probes that the manufacturers have sold you for the cost of etc., take the abdominal, it will be not the worst one. That's our advice. So, do not make the SESAME protocol if you don't need it. If you have the diagnosis, it would be lost time. But if you are like me, completely blind with a cardiac arrest, let's see one example, the asystole, for instance, we are very late. Lung ultrasound first. SESAME protocol, cardiac arrest, we have a ventilation. Left lung, okay, there's lung sliding, no pneumothorax. Right lung, wow. Diagnosis done. I know why this patient is dead, but hot, so I have time to save the brain function. No time for this. That's the A' profile. That is the fully sensitive sign of pneumothorax. Since I am very late, I will skip this slide because I want to finish at 20. So very rapidly, we need a minimal of knowledge to know which probe, which filters that is no filter, which knobology that is no knobology, and a longitudinal approach for immediately detecting the lung surface without any confusion. There is no confusion in lung ultrasound. So that was tension pneumothorax. You saved a life. Next patient. Now, pulmonary embolism. I don't know. What is it? So, cardiac arrest, ventilation, no pneumothorax, no pneumothorax. We go to the target number 2, that is what we call the V point, that is the lower femoral vein. It is not in the habits, I'm sorry for that, but when we see that there is a deep venous thrombosis, it happens in quite half of the cases of massive pulmonary embolism. And we see the vein first because it is on-off, unlike the right ventricle. The venous window is on-off, unlike the cardiac window. And in the blue protocol, we have a specificity of 99%. Does echocardiography make better? Your silence tells me not better. So we will see at the Blue Protocol lecture at 2 p.m. why we favor lung and veins first. Well, now the grade 3 is very holistic hypovolemic arrest. No pneumothorax, no pneumothorax. I skip this slide for saving time. That's the principle of the false protocol. This vein is free. Does it mean that embolism is not the cause of the cardiac arrest? You are doctors and you know, of course, not. So we will do like any doctor, that is, we will look at the heart, at the right ventricle. So we must take the probe from this point to that point, and we will make a stop here, at the abdomen. Wow, plenty of liters of fluid, probably blood, in the GI tract. We know why the patient is dead. That is major bleeding. If you succeed to ROSC your patient, you want massive fluids before getting the blood. And you want it fast. So if I use a linear probe for the subclavian vein, I will say, but excuse me, but we are not linear. So why to use linear probes for human beings? It makes no sense. So this is the probe that I will use. We target the vein. That's the infraclavicular subclavian vein. Okay, so I see my vascular group. I go in long axis with a small footprint probe. I see my subclavian vein. Look, it's not a vascular probe, but it is a vessel. And I just have to insert my needle. Okay, I go rapidly. And I have my vascular access. Here, okay, so I can resuscitate the patient efficiently. Published since 1991, before the craze of emergency ultrasound. Well, next, step 4, grade 4, We are extremely late. We have not ruled out pulmonary embolism. But before, one more step will be to the pericardium, which is not the heart, it is the peri-heart. So I will do in one slide what Martin has done in a whole lecture. But at SURF we have no time. We split the pericardium from the heart for three main reasons. Steep learning curve, that is, you see two hearts instead of one, done. And the window is usually present because of the fluid, and it is reversible and superficial, that is easy to poke. So, no pneumothorax, this vein is compressible. Stage 3, I don't see fluid in the belly, so we go to the pericardium. Okay, pericardial fluid in a cardiac arrest is pericardial tamponade. I repeat, in spite of the lack of time, a pericardial fluid in a cardiac arrest is a tamponade. And what we do, in extreme emergency, I will do a holistic procedure and look well, because this is not futile at all, but critical. I have this probe that allows me to see the pericardial effusion, but with the same probe, I will see also my needle that you will see here that traverses the structures, and try to do that with a cardiac probe. You do not see the needle, you have to change, you lose time. And this impacts completely the usual management of the pericardial tamponade when time is of essence. Okay, now grade 5. Whew. Now we will look at the heart, at what we call the very heart. So no pneumothorax, no DVT, no bleeding in the abdomen or sometimes in the pleura, etc., etc. Pericardium, and only pericardium, is dry. Now we look at the heart. So it was not untrue. At the SESAME protocol, we see the heart. We make a prayer for having a cardiac window. This prayer was not necessary before for the lungs, etc. And this prayer is pragmatic. We push the button of the depth, because it was, if you remember, 8 centimeters, and we pushed to 14 centimeters. And wow, it is the first time that I touched the ultrasound machine. Up to now, I touched nothing. Everything was ready for the SESAME protocol. And now, what shall we see? Look well, your attention. First, we can see this. Bloody. No cardiac window. Panic on board. Poor patient. No luck. We have to play guesses, as we did 30 years before. Maybe we will see that asystole. Very easy to diagnose, but are you happy for the patient? You know that the prognosis is very dark. Well, if you see this, kissing walls, are you really happy? I will say, but it's déjà vu. We saw that in step 1 and 3 of the SESAME protocol. That's the hypovolemic cardiac arrest. We knew already that. Will you see, okay, so these are the kissing walls again. Will you see a dancing heart of the pericardial tamponade? Déjà vu, in step 4 of the SESAME protocol. Will you see an enlargement of the right ventricle? Déjà vu, in the steps 1 and 3 of the SESAME protocol. No, 1 and 2. A profile, DVT. That makes 99%. What happens, please? We have a probe that allows us to do everything from A to Z. So look here, fantastic. So this is the decision tree. the accuracy of the SESAME protocol is a wrong question because all the steps have been validated. What we need is an intelligent machine that is not the machines that you find exactly where is the slide. I'm sorry for General Electric, but I will not use these machines for saving a cardiac arrest. Imagination at work? No. 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 It's wrong. There is no imagination. There is imagination for business. So, fortunately, since a few years, manufacturers, other ones, begin to make machines in the spirit of the one that was discontinued by Hitachi some time ago. But beware the manufacturers. Beware, they are very, very, very good for hypnotizing you. So I will skip this slide, just showing that I need lung and veins for diagnosing embolism, regardless the echocardiographic data. I will be very short with that slide that shows that you can see the whole body, just visual medicine with only one probe. And this is my past and my present, and hopefully your future. So the message, yes, it's just a propaganda that the SURF was once again 30 years in advance with the application of cardiac arrest when you follow our 7 requirements for having a machine which is just professional. That's all what I ask to a machine for making critical ultrasound. Thank you for your interest. Sorry for the disturbance.